Welcome to another edition of ZARR'S Spotlight of the Month. I'm ZARR, and
I'm W. Keith Scott.
Welcome to ZARR'S Spotlight of the Month TV show. Who will be this month's Spotlight entertainer? Sit back, enjoy, and tell a friend to watch ZARR'S Spotlight of the Month TV show.
And today we're doing a deep dive part 2 with the filmmaker, our guest filmmakers and producers. Welcome to the show, sir. Mr. Vernon Williams.
Yes, sir.
The third.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Vernon Williams III from Washington, D.C., PG County, Maryland, and the father of 6. And my wife keeps me going. My gift keeps me going, as well as this guy sitting next to me.
Awesome. And the next guest is, all right, so I have to probably introduce you two guys. So I'm going to give you your titles. Award-winning, multiple award-winning.
Yeah, there you go.
Producers, theatrical producers.
There you go.
Mr. Vernon Williams, Mr. Lavelle Long. Welcome to the show, sir. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Lavelle Long. I just started this about 2 years ago. I'm a returning citizen.
Good.
From the people that's from Southeast DC. I'm a convicted felon.
Good.
Hooked up with this guy, had a vision in prison with my bunkmate. I like to call him Saladin Mahi, that's over there in the audience.
So you're a success story.
Yeah, something like that.
Let's call it what it is, bro.
Come back.
Yeah, so
That's what I'm talking about.
I looked up this guy, Vernon Williams, and we're here today. We won 3 awards for award season this year, which we didn't have no plan. Me and Saladin's vision was just to get with Vernon, and then once we got with Vernon, it was sell out the MG to get the MGM. Wow. Then once we got the MGM, it was to sell out the MGM, and today we're on your show.
That's right.
And we're here to let everybody know that when things are looking bad, if God's on your side, if God got you, you can always come up.
That's right.
Yeah, you've been actually all over television, brother, so I appreciate you. Next we have multi-award winning Stephanie Carlson, filmmaker. Welcome to the show, man.
I started out doing background work on The Wire.
Okay.
And prior to that, I did a lot of acting in high school. Joined the Thespian Society, but then I went to the corporate world after college. And but I always wanted to pursue my passion, and which for me wasn't necessarily acting, but it was behind the camera, producing. And so I decided to go do background work to learn the business. I said, what better way than to get paid to learn the business? Is you have a lot of downtime. And so from that sparked interest in writing. And I decided I wanted to start doing my own projects from that. And so here.
When I was a kid, I was in J.C. Elementary School in Southeast. And it started there. We started performing, did theater, did stuff with church. Stopped for years, picked back up. Like Stephanie, I did The Wire. Then I always did writing. Then I always had a vision, put it together, had some actors. I've been shooting ever since.
All right, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Next is this gentleman here. I haven't worked with him, but I've supported a lot of his projects. Filmmaker from Virginia, Mr. Ray Mickens. Welcome to the show, sir.
How you doing? My name is, I go by Rico Mickens.
Rico.
I use Ray Mickens on Facebook, but my real name is Rico Mickens. I'm exactly from Southwest DC. I live in Virginia, been there since 1976. I got into film, a little bit about myself. I got into film because I like producing and telling a story. Just so everybody knows, I've never been to any kind of film school or any kind of videography classes or anything like that, sound class or anything. Pretty much self-taught, so it's a lot of headache, but I got a lot of experience by doing it the hard way. Produced 6 feature films, that's pretty much all I do. 6 feature films in 6 years. So that's all about me. I just have a passion.
So that's for your actors.
Right, exactly.
So I think that's a great thing. Next gentleman, part 2,
Mr. Marquis Dixon, Dream Block Films Entertainment. A little bit about me. I'm a filmmaker, film director. I'm originally from Los Angeles, California, where I've been in acting since I was a young child in Shakespeare theater. Just been throughout a lot of different TV shows and stuff like that. From I was on House of Cards, I was on a PBS, on The Saint. I've been on Criminals. Every show you can think of that's on TV, I've kind of did. But then I indulged in trying to cross over to filmmaking about 6 years ago. So I've actually produced a lot of my own movies, and direct and also write. So right now we're working on a new feature, a film that has a few pretty good top A-list talent that might join on with the project, which I'm very excited about. I actually directed.
It's a SAG project, right?
Yep, it's a SAG project. A lot of people don't know DC was not really built on SAG projects, and there was one young lady in Baltimore who was kind of doing SAG projects in Baltimore, which is down on the end. And then I actually started doing them in DC. And then we kind of just started transitioning that over to another project I was working on, King's Son, where I actually kind of taught them actually how to do SAG projects. So that was another SAG project that I directed also, King's Son. Cool. So I did a few projects in the city. I'm very motivated. I'm very happy about how the DMV is really coming up, the empowerment of a lot of these individuals and actresses and actors and producers and filmmakers that is really being a very positive effect for the city.
Pronounce your name, Camille, what?
Kimmy A.
Yeah, let's see.
It happens all the
Welcome
time.
to the show, man.
Thank you so much for having me. I started getting picked up for, well, I started theater. Theater is always the foundation of actors and actresses' careers, as they say. You really want to start in theater to get your foundation. But then I started doing short films. I started getting cast for feature films, for TV shows, lots of different things, web series. And it was in 2014 when web series just kind of started making an appearance on the web. And I started watching a bunch of these different web series, and I'm like, man, I think I can try this. And it was one web series in particular by Issa Rae called The Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl, which blew up on YouTube in like 2014, 2015 time. And I was like, wow, this girl looks like me. She writes her own stuff, she directs her own stuff, she produces her own stuff, and she's the star in her own stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, I've been acting for 5 years, and that's how, okay, let me try this. So I started taking my stab at writing, and then next thing you know, it turned into a whole series called Shock Nation. And I wrote it, directed it, and produced it. And I brought on a team of people to help me out. And right now we are currently airing season 2, and we're going to be working on season 3 this month.
And I came back here and I did worked on 2 web series. One which first we got was Middle Life, and it was success. You learn a lot of trials and errors through doing your first web series, doing first production. So that was like a first time getting into it. And then we did short films, and then we did another web series which won at the LA Film Festival. We also won at the Chicago Film Festival. And there's other ones, and then we did a second season of the show Half Brothers, and now we are just signed a deal with Amazon, and we also have deals with Kwele TV, which is produced in Africa. So some of our movies are more international as well. So we're just not in the USA area. You know, we're trying to expand. Yeah. So and with that, it's just meeting the right people and collecting it, and just being able to market myself in different ways. I know a lot of people talk about putting a production together, but one of the things that we focus on at the entertainment company I have, Unique Lens Entertainment, we focus on once it's made, where do you go after that, the distribution. So right now we're doing distribution, and we're thankful that we have the Amazon deals and the Kwele TV deals to get us out there to certain audiences, and we're trying to just do more with that as well.
The thing is, a lot of folks, a lot of us filmmakers, especially when I was just a young actor, they made films. They made some for hobbies and some made good films, but they didn't do anything with it. It was just there. So and then you had to pull the leg to get a copy of it. But now I understand why you don't get a copy up front, because that's a process, to making sure that it's ready, and making sure it's not going to end up on social media until it's ready, right? So it's a process. Welcome to the show. Thank you, sir.
Because I minored in film when I went to college at West Virginia State. I used to stay behind in class when everybody left and talk to my teachers. I still stay in contact with my teachers. And now, 2016, I started working on my own SAG project. That was my first one. It wasn't as successful because I didn't know
yours. And for you, from your experiences, what one thing in your experience experience you've had to get you to a point, it may have been a failure or success, that caused you to rethink your process and to take it to the next level to correct it. And anybody can talk. It's always open.
I would say definitely don't rush your process, because if you rush your process and you put it out, it'll definitely show, and then nobody's not gonna look at it. So then you're promoting it so much, and it's like, okay, we excited to see it, but then when you see the final product, it's like, nah. So definitely take your time. And another thing, it's very difficult to deal with the paperwork. So you have to have somebody on your team that's working with you, so you can teach them how to work with that paperwork. Get the SAG insurance, because now SAG New Media requires you to get insurance for your project before you even get the green light to produce your production. But definitely have that in order. And last, have a cast and crew that's on board with you promoting it and supporting it. Everybody has to be a team player at the end of the day. It can't just be one star on the team.
Could you say that again?
You know, we don't do film yet, but I will speak from theater. You know, a lot of times we go see different stage plays and we go see people that's doing things. And one of the things that my mentor, the late Shelley Garrett, told me, he said, don't put out anything. Don't just put out anything just to be doing, just to say you're doing something.
So you did it, right?
Because when folk come see the play and there's some crap, that I'm telling you right now. So it's a lot of playwrights out here and actors out here that want to get into, I want to write a play and they want to do this. Like, do your homework. I didn't go to school for this. This is a gift that God gave me. But when he gave me the gift, I watched videos, I watched master classes. Even if your product isn't great, but it was good.
Right.
Pull it back to make it great. Now when you come back out next time, it's amazing.
I want to say this, Vernon. I had that experience 10 years ago. I was brought on board because of my experience, but when I tried to tell them what you just said, they would not listen. And so set up there 3.5 hours long for production. So a lot of people left. So I said, well, you didn't listen, and I put it on paper.
Yeah.
But anyway, with that said though, question out for everyone, what makes this production a success for you? So that's the question I have for you.
Well, I mean, coming from like, let's pick on both questions. Coming back from like a film school, you have everything. You know what I'm saying? Teachers give you everything. You know, you have a team, and it was one of those things you rely on. You're like, okay, cool. You know, working on my 16mm project, we're still learning, but they give you everything. So once I graduated and I come back here, I'm just the regular guy, and I don't have those toys no more. So it's really hard to like, whoa, I had a camera like this, I had people like this, and you understand that, oh, I'm back to zero. Like I was on 100, I had everything, and now it's zero. So one of those things when you find successes in what you do, I think is when you have, to me, the product that you sat down and wrote, and it's kind of vision. You never ever have the exact same thing you wrote. It's never going to be there. You lose the stopping from writing it, from producing it, and from distributing it. You always lose something in the editing room or something, but you at least keep your words and your, you know, your integrity of your script.
In the comment section, put the type of camera they used and stuff like that. I would take notes, and I'm like, okay, I don't like that quality, so we're not going to use this camera. So different things like that. Like it took months and months of preparation to really build the type of team that I wanted to, and I built up my resources. I had a lot of people that I knew that made movies at the time. And it was like, I was looking for this specific type of quality. I didn't want to use my friends, like Vernon said. You know, I didn't care how much it cost. As long as they could work within my budget, I wanted the type of quality that I wanted. Because I know as actors, we've been a part of a lot of different productions where we thought the quality was going to be one way, but then it wasn't. So that was something, as a filmmaker, that was important to me.
And I tell people you gotta have faith in God first, because my first project that I did is on Amazon Prime now, 1.5 million views, total success, Gangsters now. It scaled me back because you want to put in your friends, people want to get on real quick and stuff like that. So you have to learn your craft next.
The thing to make projects successful, one is your team, but it's your script. It's your script flow. It's your storyline.
Gotta have a good story.
And then also, my partner knows this about me. I'm big on the title of the project. A title is gonna get people to say, "Ooh, I want to see that." Then the next question might be, "Well, who's in it?" But when they hear the title, that's when they want to. If
That's
your
the first
title
interest.
is boring, people will say, I don't know about that one. So your title, right? Your team, your script, your title. But then my wife always says to me all the time, you watch the same movie 30 times. It's a reason why I watch the same movie 30 times. Because I'm doing homework.
Let this brother chime in. This brother
learning.
put his hand on the point. Come on, brother.
Yeah. So I'm the baby of this group, I see. But what I think, because we had a little success, I've only been doing this 2 years. I haven't went to no school, and then we started with YouTube University. I think it was being a fan first.
Yep.
And what I can say for being a part of this panel, because I'm very blessed to be here, because I don't supposed to be up here. You know, well, I'm here, but yeah. But what started was, to me, was the content. And I'm gonna say this now for the people that's, you know, from DC area. One thing we haven't had yet, we haven't had that blockbuster film that shows DC. And I'm gonna tell you why I think we have it. Now, I started from a fan. I'm a fan. So when I watched it from LA to New York stories, now Atlanta stories, we have a lot of people that don't listen to the people that comes from this side that I came from. So when you tell a story, it's not authentic.
Yeah.
So if it's not authentic, your people's not going to buy into it. So if you're going to tell a story about Washington, D.C., but you never been in Washington, D.C.,
Right.
and you never lived that side of Washington, D.C.,
Can't show a bunch of
then,
monuments, right?
and it's not going to, people are not going to resonate with it. Now, when we came up with the gears, how we knew it was going to be successful, because when you sit down writing that script, if you're cracking up, you're dying to put more into it. It shows. And then what we did, we started letting other people read it.
Yeah.
And once you get the same reaction from, when you get that script to 10 people and you get the same reaction, and usually it's going to be big. So as we are learning within my second year, I have something that I think is very special. I come from that dark side. And not just come from that dark side, I'm a visionary. I can see things. And I think what we had, like Vernon says, we go back and forth. If you give me that title, and that title grabs me, I'm gonna start with the beginning, and I'm gonna figure out the end, then I'm gonna work everything through. But
No, go ahead.
and that's why I think, like with film, which we're talking about getting in film, I think that we're gonna have a very important film, because at the end of the day, I done lived both sides. I done been in the ghetto, I done had the millions of dollars, and I just bring it in
I
together.
know a lot of you guys have multiple hats that you wear: writer, producer, managers, etc. But for the writer side of you guys, how important is it that you help with the casting? It's your baby, you wrote it, and like you were saying, you know, your project can fail if you don't have a great actress doing the part or actor. So how important is it to either one of you all, as from the writer side point, to stick close to the cast?
Where it comes to me, I look for all type of talent. So once I write something, I can meet a personality to make me want to change it up. I don't stick to my own script, because it's something that God gave me. So if anybody saw the gigs, we had a tap dance. So I was invited to the Kennedy Center. Never been to the Kennedy Center. Ghetto boy from South East, never been to the Kennedy Center. When I got to the Kennedy Center, I saw this kid named Cartier Williams. And it jumped right to me and said, that's the Scarecrow. And he don't have to sing. He's just gonna dance, he's gonna tap. And it's more like it's personality. You have, like you said, when you write, you have someone in mind. But see, since I'm kind of unorthodox, I don't have no type of ruling to this. I'm like wide open. I'm like Kirk Franklin when he first started. So I don't go by rules. I don't, mentor, he's my mentor, but I've never had a mentor. So I'm out the box. I don't go by rules.
That's quite all right, 'cause art is art.
Let me just follow up on that real quick. Like I was saying, anybody who's worked with me know that I have an idea, right? And they may see something extra that can enhance that character or the script. Or they may make up some stuff. and I'll let them try it. And if it works, it works. I'm cool with it. So you got to kind of be flexible. If it's not your scripting, you may not have the flexibility. But if you do have it, you got to work with it. Go if it enhances the product and or the story that you're telling.
I think when it comes to casting, and he and I go back and forth a lot. This is my vision on casting. My vision on I watch a lot of movies. I watch a lot of television. And I was taught back in the day, if you're gonna be in this business, you gotta watch a lot of movies and television. You gotta watch stuff to learn stuff. So now, when it comes to casting, if I'm writing this script and we sitting down reading these characters, when I got a vision of the character in my mind, I try to put an actor or actress that fits the character so much to a T that when the audience see this character and hear these script lines, they said their mindset is, oh, that's them. It's not the person, it's not who you are. You are Patricia. And you playing this character because people are like, oh my God, that's them for real. Acting is the truth. It's not, acting is the only job you can get caught doing. You get what I'm saying? So I try to cast people that look the part, plus you can act, and you can give me something that I can pull extra out of you in rehearsal that you ain't never done before. And so when the audience sees the cast, they say, oh, they fit all them roles. That's what you want them to say. If they say, well, I don't even see them playing that, you didn't cast it right then. So that's why I'm big on casting the perfect person for the perfect role. And if you never played this role before, guess what? At the end of the day, you're gonna be like Denzel in Training Day. When Denzel in Training Day, people hated him doing that. That's not his kind of role. But when he did it, he won an Oscar. And folk was like, good God Almighty, look at that boy.
You did that thing.
That's what I'm gonna pull out you when you come to rehearsal.
Let's follow back on what you were saying. Because you were going somewhere, and one of the questions that I didn't get to ask in the first panel was collaboration. Keyword, right? Collaboration. A lot of folks, until now or later, they had not known. Sometimes people, when I talk to people, I say, I'm an independent filmmaker. Oh, I'm from so-and-so area. Oh, you got filmmakers out here? Right, so they don't know. They don't know. Right, but we've done things, we've gotten awards, we've grown, gotten to a point. We have our own brand. What you don't have to lose is your brand. Right. You keep your brand is your brand. Right. But you can collaborate with right-minded people. Right. And they may not necessarily have your genre, your style of production. But if there's a bigger concern, if you have a bigger vision, you come together. I'm preaching. But you come together, you drop your ego. Listen, every single individual in this room have an ego. And we have pride in our product. If you don't, you need to check that. I'm not saying don't be humble, but you take pride in.
Like I said, I'm the baby in this. And egos is the biggest thing with me. So guys has been doing it a long time. It's raw talent that you have. And if we came together, we could do a major. And all these people that are doing filming here, directing, like the right script can get all of us up and out. Just the one script can get all of us up and out.
Well, Lavelle said that one movie can catapult the whole city.
Right.
And going to LA, New York, Atlanta, they come together. And they do that one script to get everybody out. They put the egos to the side because they about that money.
That's right.
Let's get this money and then we can split apart, but let's come together and work together. And I feel that if the DMV can do that, put the egos to the side, I'm the boss, I'm bigger than you and all that, and just come together and do one movie.
So with that said,
or one play. It could be a play too, because Tyler Perry, he got in the game with them plays. But just come together, because there's a lot of good people that have fan bases, have connections. Like, people like, for instance, my next film, I got Netflix and a couple other networks now. A lot of people, everybody in here has great avenues and great resources.
Correct.
But what happens in LA, New York, and Atlanta, they come together and put it all together to make that money to do what they need to do. And if we can do that.
Some of the big projects, you have multiple executive producers.
Exactly.
You ain't got to. You don't have to
It's
be.
about 6-7 producers.
Correct.
Multiple production. You may say a Ryan Hart. They came together to make this one film.
So my question to you, with that said, what is it going to take for us to be propel to the top here, like Atlanta,
Crabs in the
LA.
barrel. Get out the barrel.
Right, exactly. But what is it going to take, Sherry?
Definitely, because I dealt with this in the past, when you have newcomer actors who think they know something better than you. And I'm just like, please check your ego, because we all try and get to the next level together.
Correct.
If you can't be a team player and you keep leashing on the other teams, you're selling yourself short.
Correct.
And I have seen, not just here in the DMV, because I'm going to say all over, from New York to LA to Atlanta, put your ego aside.
Yep.
If you put your ego aside, and you got 5 good brains who can write, who can produce, who can act, put all that together. You make one good product.
Unified.
One of my mentors told me, he said, you'd rather put out one good product than 4 projects that's horrible that whole year.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, let me just say, if your specialty, if you're known for having the best quality as far as audio, then you bring the audio. Right? Whatever it is, what people know you of, that's your contribution, and be okay with that.
Yeah.
Right? Y'all gonna, agreement, have agreement. Because when you put it out there, somebody gonna get paid, and you want to make sure that it's in black and white.
Right.
But
And that's another thing he said. He said the right thing. Is and being that I've been in Atlanta and worked with the people in Atlanta, it's a lot of that collaboration where they do put their stuff to the side, and it's kind of being from here, it's different because it's the ego is really different, and then you also want to make sure that everybody agrees on the script.
Because I keep on saying, look from the other side in, because I'm new to this. It's integrity.
Yeah.
Okay, so like he said, a couple film, we had competition with another native from DC named Gil Nelson out in Vegas. They put us together on a award show, and I said, no, we're not gonna do this.
Correct.
We together.
Yep.
We're gonna support each other. But I think it's integrity, because at the end of the day, what we say here, and then when we leave here, we say something different.
I'm going to go on the record. I'm willing to collaborate with anybody willing to collaborate with me.
So am I.
All right. So with that, I'm going to have to end it. We ran out of time again. That's going to do it for this edition of KZAR Spotlight of the Month. And our next segment, we're going to have a featured interview with the local jazz ensemble band called Phase 2. Thank you for joining us.